I have been a video editor since 2018. What started just as a hobby slowly turned into a career. Over time, I built a client base and eventually made it my full-time job. Today, I want to share with you 7 things I've learned in 7 years of editing. Number 1. Gear matters. Or better said, gear is important. Back in 2018, when I was just starting out, I had a painfully slow computer. I remember lying to new clients about my specs because I didn't want them to turn me down just for having weak gear. After a few small gigs, I saved some money and bought a new laptop, and it changed everything for me. It was way more powerful than my old setup, and being able to carry it everywhere was a huge deal at that time. With that laptop, I was able to take on more clients, edit much faster, and improve my workflow. Rendering times dropped significantly, which meant I could actually keep up with deadlines. After a few years, I built myself a proper editing rig, which I still use today. It's been running strong for over 3 years now, and even though it could use a few upgrades, it still handles everything I throw at it. This computer allowed me to really push my skills further and start working with better paying and more reliable clients. That's why I say gear is important. Of course, you can edit on an old computer if you have the skills, it will just take longer. But once you invest in proper gear, that's when you will really see growth. You'll be able to handle bigger projects, meet deadlines, and level up both your skills and the type of clients you attract. Number 2. You're a video editor, not a colorist. The biggest issue I've always had as a freelance video editor is color grading. Working on small productions, vlogs, or studio projects, I often find it really hard to achieve the look that the client wants, especially when the footage isn't even properly exposed. Of course, that changes when I'm the one shooting the footage. Before filming, I already have a vision of how I want it to look, so grading it afterwards feels natural. But when it comes to client work, it's usually a long back and forth with endless color revisions. Now, don't get me wrong, knowing how to color grade your footage is a valuable skill for any video editor. So keep in mind how much you should charge the client for the work you're doing. A tool that I've been using recently and that really helped me speed up my workflow is Dehancer, a film-like color grading plugin. Here's how fast I can color grade a project I recently shot. First, I select the camera I filmed with, in my case the Lumix S5, and it automatically applies the proper conversion load for that camera. You also get a wide range of film profiles depending on the look you want to achieve with your footage. Another thing I really like are the film grain, halation, and bloom effects. There's a lot more you can do with Dehancer. It's incredibly versatile and helps you get the cinematic look you want with much less effort. If you want to try Dehancer yourself, there's a link in the description. And if you like to support the channel, you can get 10% off by using my promo code Miller10. Thanks to Dehancer for sponsoring this segment of today's video. Number 3. Recurring clients. This one is huge. As a freelance video editor, having recurring clients can completely change your life. Recurring clients are the ones who come back every month with new projects. Maybe YouTubers, marketing agencies, or small brands, it doesn't really matter who they are. What matters is consistency. Having a few clients who keep returning every month helps you manage your finances, predict your income, and understand each client's preferred style and workflow. Imagine having to deal with brand new clients every month, each with different expectations, communication styles, and creative visions. It's exhausting and unstable. Building long-term relationships is the foundation of a stable freelance career. Number 4. Organize and store your files. Organization is everything. Keeping your files structured means you'll always know where to find them when you need them. As I mentioned earlier, once you have recurring clients, you'll eventually need to store their projects, either the raw footage, the final exports, or both. And that takes space, a lot of space. That's why I recommend having external hard drives dedicated to each client. It keeps things clean, fast, and professional. Number 5. Problem solving is part of the editing workflow. A huge part of editing is actually problem solving, something clients rarely see. And if you use Premiere Pro, you already know what I mean. Crashes, bugs, corrupted projects, it happens all the time. That's why when you give a client a deadline, you need to account for potential software issues. Always leave yourself a time buffer, and sometimes even price accordingly, because troubleshooting is part of the job and it takes time. Number 6. Shortcuts, shortcuts, shortcuts. Building your own workflow with custom layouts and shortcuts is a complete game changer. It saves you so much time. When I started editing, I thought shortcuts would just make things complicated, and I was wrong. Now I use shortcuts for almost everything. It will take time in the beginning to find out what works for you, but once you create your shortcut layout and your workspace, it will save you hours in the long run. Now, number 7, and the last one, and the most important one. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is something I've been struggling with for years, especially when I started out with editing and now with videography, and to be honest, it applies to any creative field. You often don't like your own work because you think it's not good enough, that you could do better, and you repeat that mindset over and over until you stop creating completely. But here's the thing, when you're doing something new, 99% of what you make is not going to be good. And that's fine, this video is not perfect, my English is not that good, my lighting could be improved, but I will do it anyway, because that's how you improve. You do it again and again and again, you learn from your mistakes, you see what works and what doesn't. It's the same thing with editing. There's no such thing as final project. If you had unlimited time, you'd keep tweaking it forever, changing effects, music, transitions, and you'd never finish. That mindset keeps you stuck and stops you from evolving. So just do it, even if it's bad, because the only way to get better is to start.